Oh, hello everybody. We have a few people here. It's nice to see you here. My name is Vivika. I am doing coaches and trainings on Smaily, and also I'm doing everything regarding strategy in Smaily. So if you at any point need any help with strategy, let me know. But today I will gladly show you how to get started with Smaily. So before we actually dig into the platform and start seeing what we have there, I would really gladly get to know you as well. So if you could write in the chat if you have ever used Smaily, and if you have, then how long have you been using Smaily, then it would be really good for me to know, because then I know a bit better of what I should be telling you and what things you maybe already know. And meanwhile, while you have this chance to introduce yourself, I'm going to tell you what we are going to talk about today. So today I'm going to show you a bit around in Smaily webpage, how to get help and how to find some good materials on Smaily webpage, because we do have a lot of content there, and most of it is really useful, and it's nice to know how to find good material. Also, I'm going to log into our platform, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get started. What are the things that you need to do before you actually start using Smaily, and what are the things that you need to know about the platform itself, because the platform does have a lot of different functionalities that are really advanced, that are slightly hidden behind the first buttons. And also I'm going to show you how to actually do your first campaign on Smaily, so that when you have to do it yourself, you will be already familiar of how it's going to be working. Thank you, Johanna. So you said that you haven't used Smaily before, and Heidi said that she's starting to use with Smaily but hasn't used it yet. So that means that we have a really good base of getting to know Smaily here, and we can just go and get to know it. If you have any questions, please write them in the chat. Also, as there are just a few of us here, then actually you are free to just open up your microphone and ask your question if you have anything. I will gladly answer all your questions on the go, so that whenever you see something that you want to ask, just write it in the chat, or open your microphone and ask it, and then we will go through those questions already on the go. I will also start sharing my screen with you and show you firstly a bit around on Smaily webpage. I will give myself 2 seconds to set up the screen so that I will see your chat all the time as well, and then we are free to start. So, first of all, if you ever come to a Smaily webpage, I think you have already been here at least once or twice, or maybe even more times, then you do see that there is a lot of materials up here. What I would like to show you right now is that on the top right corner, we have 3 buttons here, which is free e-library, Smaily help, and integrations. Those are the really useful tools for you once you need some help from Smaily. Of course, we have a really good client support as well, who will answer all your questions on the go. But if you feel like you want to study by yourself and get to know some more materials, and then those 3 buttons here are here for you to help you out. First of all, we have this free e-library here, which consists of many different materials, which are like booklets or tutorials, and these are like longer materials which you can just read and see and go through to get to know some specific topics. And for example, we have here one 50-slide presentation about all the different automatics that you can do in e-commerce. Also, we have email marketing terminology. So if you need to know what some kind of a word in email marketing means, then you are free to come here, download this booklet, and get to know with all the terminology that we use here in Smaily and in email marketing and in general. And here are other really useful informations. So if you feel like you want to study more about email marketing, then this free e-library is the place where you want to go and go to read through some materials. The next button here is Smaily Help. This is also a very, very good place to search for help. Here we have the tutorials and also we have how-tos. So if you open this Smaily Help button here, you see 3 different sections. First of them is how-to, and these are slightly longer articles written about how to solve some kind of a problem. For example, we have written here down how to resend a campaign. So we are telling you here why you should resend the campaign and how you do it, how can you do it in Smaily. So these are those a bit longer tutorials, and they will guide you through the whole process of why you should be doing something and how exactly you can do this thing on Smaily. If we go back to Smaily Help again and click on this middle button here, which is user manuals, then you can see that here we have exactly like manuals. Here are step-by-step tutorials of how to do something on Smaily. For example, if you want to personalize a newsletter, so you want to add a name to a newsletter, then here is a tutorial step-by-step of how to do it. It's written down step-by-step. Also, there are pictures or moving pictures GIFs here to show you exactly how you can do this thing on Smaily. These are really, really good help materials. So if you have any kind of help that you need to solve some problem, you don't know how to do something on Smaily, then here under Smaily Help in user manuals, you will find most of the tutorials. And you can just follow the step-by-step instructions, and you can actually do everything on Smaily with using those manuals. If I go back to Smaily, then also we have for developers part here. So if you need to give some information to your IT department regarding doing some API connections or setting up some really advanced level integrations, then this is the page where the developers can look for specific information about how to set up those integrations. You can just send them the link and they will find information by themselves. You don't need to actually go through it yourself. But as a marketing person, you just have to know that this is the place where you can find all the materials. If I now go to the webpage, here on the bottom, we also have a support email address. So if you want to write to us via email, here is where you find the email address. support@smaily.com is the place where you want to write the email to. If you do write an email, then we do suggest you to specify the problem and also try to add what's your account name, so that we know which account we are dealing with, and then we can help you the best. Also, here in the bottom, you will find different social media buttons. And one of them that I do encourage to go through and look out for is YouTube. If I open up the YouTube, then you will see here a lot of different tutorials and also the different talks we have had with specialists around the world. For example, the first one here is Masters of Email Marketing. We had 8 hours of email marketing talks here. Here we talk about deliverability, how to do copywriting, and how to do perfect emails. So if you really want to study more about emails and how to do email marketing, then all those videos here are also here to help you out, to give you a really good overview of what we are doing here at Smaily and how we can help you. And it would just be general knowledge. But also we have tutorials here. Right now, many of them are in English, in Estonian. But we are going to add more tutorials in English as well, like the one we are doing right now. So hopefully, if you come back to our YouTube channel a bit later, then you will find more tutorials in English as well. And in the bottom of the page, there's usually this bubble, which is the talk bubble. If you click on this talk bubble, you can actually talk to our support as well. And especially if you are logged into your account, then this talk bubble is the best way to ask help from support, because then we can actually see who we are talking to, and we can help you very easily and quickly. So we have gone through the web page, the most important parts in our web page, how you can find help yourself. And now we will actually dig into a Smaily platform, and how you can access the platform is the easiest usually as it is. You go to the, again, top right part of the web page, and there is this login button where you can just click in, and you can sign in with either Google account, Facebook account, Twitter account, LinkedIn account, or Microsoft. Also, if you don't have an account yet and you want to register a new account, then there is a register button just next to it. And again, you can create an account using third-party solutions, either Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc. It's just easier for you because you don't need to remember a password by yourself. You will just authenticate yourself through the third party, and you don't need to remember another password. And that's why we're using this method. So right now, I'm going to log in into my account because I already have an account, and I use Google login method. I am going to open up the demo account so that you will actually see what the account looks like. If you log in to the platform first time, then actually everything is empty here. You don't see any sent out campaigns. You don't have any subscribers yet. You don't have any templates yet. And you will just need to start from scratch. And how the platform works is usually if you create a new account, then first you need to set up the account. So as you already created the account using Google or Facebook or other authentication methods, then we already know who you are. Now, the next step that you do need to do is to set up the domain where you are sending emails from, and etc., etc. So first step that you should do when you have a really new account is that you go to your account settings, and you can find your account settings in the right top corner. If you click either on the name or the arrow here, you will see preferences here. And under preferences, you will see all kinds of settings that you can modify on your account. First thing that you should know is that if you are creating a new account, then usually we make a subdomain for you. Subdomain is like the first part of the domain that will be shown to your clients. For example, if you are making a landing page, then the landing page will actually have this subdomain inside the URL. So basically, this subdomain here is the same one as you see here on the top in the URL line. If you make an account, then usually it is not branded one, which means that your subdomain consists of random letters and random numbers, and it's just something random. So if you're making a new account, if I already have an account, then the first thing that I suggest you to do is to brand your subdomain. For example, here we have the subdomain called Smaily. If I would be, for example, Delia, I would call the subdomain Delia. Or if I am a person making my personal branding domain, sending out my personal branding emails, then for example, I would use here vivikalundberg.sendsmiley.net. And you can change it by clicking here and just type in the new subdomain that you want to use, and it will take a bit of time until it's changed. But if you haven't sent anything out yet, then this right now is the perfect time to change the subdomain, because then once you start sending something out, then already it will look beautiful and it will be branded with your own name. So definitely this is the first thing that you would want to do if you are making a new account. Under the account as well, you have contact information. So here is the organization email address that we can use to, in case we have some problems with your account, we can just use it to communicate with you. And also, if you want to give us your technical contact email, then this is also really, really good. Because in case, for example, there is some integrations problem, then we can actually contact the technical support and technical person from your side. We don't need to talk to anybody else, but we can just talk to somebody who already knows how to solve technical problems. But you don't have to fill it in. This is something that you can fill in. And also, if you want us to contact you via phone, then you can add your phone number here. The next thing that as a new account you definitely need to look at is domains. Domain is the domain that you will be using to send out all the emails. So for example, from Smaily, we use smaily.com to send out the emails from. It's not the email address, but it's like the end of the email address. So for example, if my email address is support@smaily.com, then this ending, this smaily.com is the domain that I'm using to send out the emails. And before you can send anything out, you actually do need to verify your domain. And how you do this? It's really easy. You just click on this verify domain button here. You write in one email address that uses this domain. It can be your name, your email address with your name, for example, viivika@smaily.com, or it can be just info@smaily.com, as long as this smaily.com is inside the email. And you write it down here, and you send this verification email to your email. What happens then is that into your mailbox, there will be one mail coming to you, which says that click on this button here to verify this domain. And once you have clicked on this button inside the email, your domain will be verified, and it will appear here in the list of verified domains. And once the domain is verified, you are almost ready to start sending emails from Smaily as well. There is one more step that you need to do, and that step is that you need to also authenticate your domain. This means that you would need to add SPF and DKIM records to your domain. The tutorials are here. You can actually just click on the manual here, and there will be a step-by-step tutorial how to do it. You need to change some records on your domain. You usually do it on the web page where you are hosting the domain. For example, it can be HostGator or GoDaddy or whatever those domains that you use, where you bought the domain from and you have like domain settings there. And the manual is here. You click on it and they will tell you exactly which records you need to change. And once you have changed the records, you need to wait a few minutes, and then you can click on this Authenticate button here. And then once this shield here turns green, then you are ready to go, and your domain is both authenticated and verified, and then your domain is ready to be used for sending emails. Setting up those SPF and DKIM settings, sometimes it can be tricky. If that seems too tricky for you, you can just ask help from your IT department, because they actually usually know what those things are. And you can just forward these tasks to your IT department, and they will gladly help you out there. One more setting that you probably want to have a look at is billing preferences. In Smaily, up to 2,000 contacts, everything is free, which means that you are using this freemium subscription. And once you have less than 2,000 contacts in your subscribers list, then everything that you see here is free. What is the best thing about Smaily is that we don't in any way try to limit you in how you can use the free version, or if you are using a paid version, that will be something different. No, everything is the same. So it doesn't matter if you are on the paid version or freemium version, all the functionalities on Smaily are the same. There are no limitations for free versions. So everything that you see here as a free version, you will also see it the same way when you're using a paid version. The only thing that is different from freemium to paid versions is that once you send out an email, we will add a really small logo beneath the email for freemium versions, and that's all we do. And everything else just the same. It doesn't matter if you are on a freemium or a paid version. Once you go over 2,000 subscribers, then we ask you to choose a package, and the package is either monthly package or pay-as-you-go package. Monthly package means that we will make an invoice for you each month based on how many contacts you have in your subscribers list. You will find this information on Smaily webpage. If we go to Smaily webpage again, under pricing table, you can actually scroll a bit down and see how many contacts you have on your contact list, and then you will see the price according to the size of the list. And you see that the prices actually are nicely small. And once you have chosen a paid package, then you can choose either to pay by invoice or add a credit card. So the difference here is that if you choose to pay by invoice, then we will send you an invoice in the beginning of the month, and you would have to make the payment. But if you do add a credit card here, then we just take the money from your account, and we will also send you an invoice, but you don't need to make a payment by yourself by hand. So it is relatively easy and well managed way. And also, if you want to have a correct information on the billing on the invoice, then please fill in the billing information, then we know where to send the email to, the invoice to. So for example, this billing email address is the email address where we send the invoice to. It's only used to send invoices. And also we want you to add a company name here. It doesn't need to be the same company name who is actually using the platform. For example, if you are a marketing agency, you can add your own agency name here and use it to send emails out in the name of your clients as well. Also, please fill in the other information. This is also, everything is needed to make an invoice for you. The other way to go to a paid version is to use a pay-as-you-go version. In this case, you will just buy credits, and pay-as-you-go version is mostly used for those companies who send less than one email per month for the whole client list. For example, if you have like 5,000 people in your list and you only send one email to 50 people per month, then it makes sense to use this pay-as-you-go version. And in that case, you will just pay for each email that you send out. So the difference with monthly and pay-as-you-go is that with monthly subscription, you pay for each subscriber that you have in the list, and in pay-as-you-go version, you pay for each email that you send out during the month. And that's about it, about the billing. It's really easy, just two options and no extras. Everything is included in the price, no extras. So it doesn't matter how many users you have on the account, everything is still being paid the same. Under my account, the first tab here, you can also add users to your account. For example, here in the demo account, we have 5 different users. And once you create your own account, you actually have one user, but you can invite more users to the account as well. And users have actually different levels here. You can add the user as a manager. A manager is a person here who can see everything, do everything on the account, just as you can if you have created the account. And the other version is to give the user editor rights, which means that they can do everything in the account besides change this preferences about how to make an invoice or how to add users. They can't do that, but they can add campaigns, they can edit templates, they can add subscribers, so they can do like all the normal tasks here. And the third option is to give the new user only template editor rights. In that case, this person doesn't see anything else in the platform besides templates, and he or she then can just create the template, and somebody else needs to be the one who is sending the email out, because the template editor can only see the templates and edit the templates. And if you invite the user, then you just click on this invite the user here, add the email address, and say what rights this person should be having. Once you send out the invitation, then they will get an email to their email box. They have to click on the link there. They have to, if they don't have an account at Smaily yet, they need to make their own user account, and then they will be attached to your account as well, and they can start using the account. So it's really easy. Most of it is done automatically. Just click on a button and fill in a few fields, and it's really easy and understandable. And the email will be sent out in English language to everybody who is using Smaily in English. So hopefully it will be also really understandable. Under settings, we have one more interesting page here we can go through, and this is the unsubscribe pages. So unsubscribe page is the page that we show to a user once they are clicking on this unsubscribe button beneath the email. So if they click on this, please unsubscribe me, they will go to a page where they have to one more time verify that yes, they do want to leave the subscription list and not get your emails anymore. And you can actually create your own page here. Right now there is automatic Smaily page. It has just the same text that you can see here, that if you don't wish to receive any more newsletters, click on the button below, and then there is this really nice pink button below, and you have to click there, which says unsubscribing. If you want to use a different page, different message, different colors, then here is where you can use it, where you can change it. You can write your own text, you can write your own button text, you can actually change the button colors, and you can add your own logo to the website, to this landing page as well. So if you can make it to look more like your own brand, and this is unsubscribe pages is where you do it for the unsubscribe pages. I will slightly also go through the integrations page. Here, as a new user, usually you don't have to do much about this page yet. But if you do want to make some special integrations with your web page, for example, the backend of a web page where you store some user data, then integrations page is the place where you can make new integrations. So you can create a new API key here and API users here, so that if an IT person asks you, hey, I want to integrate Smaily with the back office of my web page, then I need this API key here for API user and all the other information. Then at least you know that under integrations in the settings, here you can create all the API settings that the IT might be asking from you, and you know where to find this information. When I was telling you at the beginning that if you want to write to our support and ask a question, anything which has to do anything with your account or templates or campaigns that you have been sending, then usually what the support asks from you is what is the subdomain you are using. So basically what they want to know is the same my account subdomain here, this link. So if you are writing to support, please try to add this information as well, the subdomain, which you can find also here in the settings, or also the same thing you can find here in the URL tab. The first letters before send Smaily is the subdomain that they are asking for. So this is where you find this information, and this is what the support usually will be asking from you to help you the best way that they can. And that's all about settings. If you have any questions about settings, then I'm all ears. Write me or open up your mic and ask something. If not, then I will slowly go on to the rest of the things you can do on the platform here. So probably you have used some other platforms before and all the platforms have a slightly different logic of how to set up the campaigns and how to do stuff on the platform. In Smaily, the first thing that you need to know is that before you can actually send out the campaigns, you need to do two things. First of all, you need to create a template. And secondly, you need to specify subscribers. So you can't actually just start sending a campaign here, but you first need to do something with the subscribers and something with the templates. And so what you do here is, first of all, many of our new users already have some subscribers. Either they have collected subscribers from a web page or from Facebook, or they have been through some events where they have collected some subscribers. And usually they just want to upload the subscribers here on the web page on our platform. This is a really easy task to do. Adding subscribers here to Smaily is just beneath this really nice pink button here. Just click on add subscribers. What is really, really good about Smaily is that usually, for example, if you use other platforms, you need to upload subscribers using a CSV format. In Smaily, you can also add contacts using just normal Excel or LibreOffice as well, which makes it way more easier for a normal marketer as me, as I am, because usually making a CSV file, it has been a lot of trouble for me, because there are different options. You can use semicolon, you can use comma, you can use tab, everything else to make a CSV file, and it's sometimes really confusing. And that's why it is way more easier for me to just upload an Excel table here. So just upload table here, and I will slightly talk about how to create an Excel table as well, but I will come back to that in a few seconds. The other way of uploading contacts is that you can just write the contact one by one here. So basically copy paste your email list or just start writing them. Just write email address, one per row, and just this is the easiest way to upload the email addresses. But if you use this add multiple subscribers at once and just copy your email addresses here, then all you can add are email addresses. You cannot add any additional information to your subscriber. If you use Excel version, then you can actually add additional information or so-called tabs to your contact list as well. The third option is if you want to add a subscriber just one at a time. For example, there was a test user you want to add or something like this, then you can just add one subscriber one by one, and then you actually will see all the fields or tags that you have about users in this form here as well, and you can fill them in one by one. If you have a new account, then basically you only have email address and birthday field here, but this account also has additional information about what we can add to the subscribers. Now, I will show you one Excel sheet of what a contact file can look like. If you are creating a contacts file, I will make it smaller. I hope you can still see it. No, that was a bit too small. Then the one column name in Excel that you need to have is email. So just write email here as a column name, and then Smaily will understand that this column will contain emails. What you need to know is that each cell can contain only one email address. Don't try to add many email addresses into one cell in Excel, because then only the first one will be uploaded. And try to avoid having blank cells between. It might sometimes mess things up. So it is easier to just make a really good, really pure Excel sheet where you have a column name called email, and then below that you have emails one by one in each cell, and then the system will very easily understand that these are emails, and those are all the emails that you need to be uploading to the system. You can also add additional information to your email list. For example, you can add first names, last names, locations, company names, any information that you want to add. And this is really easy. Just write the name of the column here that you want to use, for example, first name, and fill it in with the information that you know about your contacts. The same with company name, for example, just add company name as the heading line for your column and fill it in with information, and then the system in Smaily will automatically understand that, okay, this email address, the first name for this email address is Kyle, and the last name is Wright, and he works in Google. And if you upload this file, then actually you will see all the information inside Smaily as well. And you can sort them in Smaily, you can make filters, you can make segments based on the information that you upload here. And this is really, really a cool tool to make segmentations as well. I think in some platforms you have a limitation about how many tags or pieces of information you can add to one contact. Usually it's about 30 to 50 different basically columns that you can add to one contact. In Smaily, you can add a lot, like hundreds of different pieces of information to one contact. So use it to segmentations as well. Just try to add as many useful information as you have about the contact to your list as well, and you can use it later to make lists and segmentations. And once you have made your Excel sheet ready, then all you do is go to your computer, find the list, upload it here, and then click on the upload button, and the information all will be automatically uploaded. You can also see the information that you have about your contacts here. So in the same subscribers tab, there is this list called all subscribers, and you can see everybody that has been added to your email base. You can also export all the contacts, and you can also see which fields you have about each contact. What is a field? Field is the same thing as you added in your Excel file as the name for the column. So for example, I had their first name and I had their company, and all those things will be added to Smaily as fields. And here in this demo account, I have a lot of fields, and you can use it all to import more information about the clients. You can manage the fields here. You can delete some of the fields later on if you don't need them anymore. But if you do delete the field, and remember that every information that was inside the field will also be deleted. So for example, if you have uploaded the huge file, which consists of email addresses, first names, last names, and company names, and now you come here and delete, for example, last name field, then every information that you had in the last name column in the Excel will also be deleted. So be careful when you try to manage the fields. Only delete those fields that you actually do not need. You can also unsubscribe people. Sometimes there have been cases where people actually write to you that please unsubscribe me. They don't want to click on the unsubscribe button below the email, and you can do it very easily here. Just choose the person that you want to unsubscribe, click on actions and unsubscribe. Really easy. And also you can search contacts here by name. Let's see if I'm already here. No, I'm not here, but there was NL in here, for example. And if you use the search, then it will search for the names, and it will also search for the email addresses. So you can just open the contact information here and see what information you have about this contact. And also, if really necessary, you can forget the subscriber, which means that all the information about the subscriber will be deleted from Smaily database. Under subscribers, you can also create filters. For example, if I would want to create a filter about people who work in the same company, then I just create this filter here, add a name to it. And look for the filter segmentation rules here. For example, as I showed you before, here under the custom fields are all the fields that you have uploaded about the contacts. In this Excel sheet that I showed you, I had their first name, last name, and company name. So here I also, for example, have first name, last name, and company. And I can search, for example, all the people who work for Google. Right now, I don't have any in the email base, but basically you can just create your own filters here based on the information you have uploaded about your contacts, and save the list, and then it will appear for you in the contacts lists. You can also make lists or filters based on system fields. So you can search for people who, for example, have opened the email within last month or last week, or anybody who has clicked within any of your links within last month, last week, etc., etc. So there are many options to make filters, and you can also use many filters at once. So you can add more rules here. For example, you can make here timelines that I only want to see people who have opened the email from 1st of January until 31st of January. And you can make those filters here. It's really easy and well manageable. And all the filters that you create will appear here below, and you can just use them anytime later for sending out the campaigns. Still no questions. Okay, that is good. If subscribers have created any questions in you, please write them in the chat. I will try to answer them, or you can also just ask them if you open your microphone. The next thing that I'm going to show you are templates. Again, if you have a new account and you don't have any ready-made templates here yet, it will just be empty. And the first thing that you want to do is click on this new template button, and you will see here all sorts of different templates that we actually have already made as beautiful examples of what you can create here in Smaily. Here are some good examples of how to say hello to your clients, for example. There are e-commerce templates here. So, for example, there are abandoned cart templates. You can just choose one of them and use it as a template for your own emailing. There are also like many different templates here. You can just click on one, choose, and start editing it so that you can change the pictures to your own pictures, change the text, change the colors, and make it your own. And the template editor is like really easy to use. Here, first thing that you probably need to do is, if you are making a new template, then you click on this nice pencil here, and then it will open up the first settings for your template. Here you will set, for example, the background colors for the whole template. You will set everything that you need, the header colors, header fonts, etc., link colors, how the buttons will look like. So this is like the main place where you set up the main things about the template. And once you have done that, you can actually move forward to edit your template. Editing template is done by clicking on different parts of your email here. Or if you want to add some elements to your email, then on the left here, there is elements bar. Basically, you can just drag and drop different elements to your template and edit them the way you want to. So it's really easy to use and nice thing to have. I see that there are 2 questions, so I'm gonna go through the questions quickly as well. So Heidi is asking, if the client belongs to 2 groups and none subscribes from one group, does he still belong to the other group? The thing is that no, if the subscriber unsubscribes, then he or she unsubscribes from the whole database. So basically, how the filters in Smaily work, I'm going to go back to the subscribers, is that all the subscribers in Smaily are stored in this all subscribers. So basically, you have only one list. And the filters that you create, those people, actually all of them belong to this one all subscribers list. And if they unsubscribe from any of your emails, then they are unsubscribed from all of the lists. So in that case, in that way, you can be sure that, for example, if you have one list where you have B2B clients and the other list where you have people who maybe, I don't know, bought candles, and the person unsubscribes from the lists called that they bought candles, then they actually are unsubscribed from everything. And this is according to the GDPR, which has to be done this way. And actually, you don't need to worry about needing to unsubscribe people from different lists, because basically you only have one list and all the rest down here are just filters, and they filter out the same list that you have here on the top. And if the same, and the second question from Heidi is that if you have same email that belongs to 2 groups, does Smaily count it as 1 or 2 subscribers? Really good question once again. Smaily counts it as 1 subscriber because yet again, the same logic applies, that actually you have just 1 list of subscribers. You can't have 2 or 3 lists. You only have 1 list, which is all subscribers, and the rest of the things here are just filters. So we are filtering out this 1 list that we have. We don't create new lists. We only have 1 list, and we just have filters or segmentations. You can call them also segmentations. And every email is stored in the database only once. You can have the same email in different filters. For example, once again, there can be a filter that you have B2B users, and you also have, for example, people who opened the email within last month. So there's one email belongs to the both filters. You can use the filters to send out the emails, but actually you will only pay for this email once, meaning that eventually this email will be stored in the database only once. So Heidi, I hope you understood. Thank you too. If something was unclear, then you can ask again. But these were really, really good questions. And that is a really good logic about the Smaily as well, that we actually store every client, every email only once. We have 1 list and we make segmentations out of this 1 list. And now back to templates. If you want to create your own template, just make everything your own. You can also come back to the templates, make a new template and choose just this basic template here. And you can actually delete everything and start making a template from scratch. For example, if I would just now delete everything, then all I have left here is just blank thing. And if you start making a new template, then but mostly you have like a vision in front of you what you want to have in the template. For example, maybe I want to have like a full picture on the top, and then I want to have two different sections in the bottom, and then again I want to have one full section below it. And in the first section, usually there is a picture that I want to add. In the second section, I want to have one picture and then text next to it. And in the bottom, I want to have text and then a button as well. So like you have this idea of how the email should look like, and then you fill it in with all the elements that you want to use in the email. And after that, you can actually just start filling in the information. We have a picture base here. You can upload your own pictures. We also have some stored pictures here, and you can just add a picture really easily to your emails. The same is the text. You can just write the text here. You can edit the text here as well. Usually, if you make a new template, then first of all, as I showed you before, under those customized styles or like major settings, you will make sure that the text will be the same throughout the email. So, for example, if I go to default text and change the color here, then the color is going to change in the template as well. As you saw, now the color turned into purple. So that means that if you want to change some, like the whole layout of your email, then do it under the pencil here, but you can actually edit colors here inside one specific place as well. For example, if you want to make some parts of text shine out, you can make them bold, or you can change the color of the text here as well, but then it will just change this one place here. But I will actually not talk too much about the templates right now. This is a totally huge world that you can dig into yourself as well. Just I encourage you to come here and try it out and see how it works. There are so many options that you can actually do here. So use your imagination and come here and try different templates. One more thing is that if you want to add an HTML template, so you don't want to use the drag and drop thing, you can also upload your HTML here. So you can do it so that you go under templates, click on a new template, and here on the right there is a new HTML template, and you can just insert your code here. First click on the source that you will start seeing the code, and then you can just copy paste your code into here, and then you can also make HTML templates. Something again that some platforms don't allow you to do. In Smaily, this is so easy and well manageable. Once you have your templates, name them so that you understand them, and you can also add tags to your emails templates, so it's relatively easy for you to find the templates later. And also some clients, for example, they make this major template, like this main template, and later on they just will duplicate the same template and use it as an example. So here you can do it really easily. If you have one template, you can just duplicate it, and you can edit it, and you can just make a new template out of the old one. So it's really easy. And the preview button here will show you what the template looks like, and then basically you see the web version of the template here. So really easy and nice to do the templates. And you can also add personalization to the templates. I will gladly tell you that this is not what I'm going to show you right now, but you can find the information how to use personalization once again in the help. So if you go to our webpage under Smaily help, under user manuals, for example, there is one tutorial of how to personalize the newsletter. So it will teach you how to add a name or any kind of personalization information to your email as well. It's really easy, and you can just come and read it out here. So now, once you have added subscribers and you also have a template ready, then the next step that you can do is you go on to campaigns, and under campaigns, you can actually start sending out a campaign. And how you do that? Once again, you just click on the new campaign button here, and it gives you an option. Either you want to send out a newsletter, or maybe you would want to do a split campaign, A/B testing. When you don't have a lot of clients yet, a lot of subscribers, then A/B testing might not be for you yet. But if you are already, if you already know more about email marketing, then yes, A/B testing here in Smaily is so easy. You can just make 2 templates, and Smaily will do the rest of you. Just choose 2 templates what you want to test, and Smaily will do the segmentation, send out send out the emails to the people that you should be sending it to, and later on you will just see statistics for both of the split campaigns, and you can compare them. Very easy. But as a new user, usually first thing you want to do is to send just a normal newsletter out, and for that you just click on the new newsletter button here. If you have a new account, then usually first the sender address here is empty, also the sender name. All you have to do actually is just to type in the sender address here, the same domain that you used before, just type it in and add the first part of the email address as well, and just use this as a sending email address. You can also change the sender name here. Just type in whatever you want to type in here. Usually it is recommended to use your brand name plus so that people actually would understand who is sending the campaign. And if you want to use a different reply to address, then fill it in here. Usually if you want people to reply to the same address that you are sending the campaign from, then this is that address here, and you don't need to fill the reply to address here. But if you want to use a different reply to address, then type it in here. And the other thing that the first step in sending a campaign asks you is a subject line. So we just type in the subject line that you want to use for sending the email out. And once you have done that, click on continue. And in the next step, you are going to choose the template that you're going to be sending out. So here is the same list of templates as you saw under the templates menu bar here. And all you have to do is choose the right one that you want to use to send out the email. And if you want to preview, like maybe some names are mixed up or something, you can actually preview and see what did the email look like. And then you can go back and choose this template. Also, testing is done here in this part of sending out the campaign. So if you want to test the template, you actually have to start a new campaign. And in the second step of sending a campaign, you can test the email. And here is the button for that, test the email. And you can send tests to yourself. So for example, I have signed in with my Gmail account, and if I choose this send to me, the test, then my account email will be used to send the test email to. For example, for me, it's the Gmail email address. You can also type in the email address that you want to send the test to. It can be your email address, it can be your manager's email address, it can be your friend's email address, whatever you want to. You just write the email addresses down here, and all those people will receive the email. You can also make a list of test emails that you usually want to send a test to. For example, there are some bigger companies that use lists so that they have like 5 or up to 10 people who always want to see the email for confirmation before sending it out, and they make a special list in the subscribers bar to use it for sending out the test emails. And the lists here are the same ones as you saw on the subscribers bar before, so you can just make a list there. Anyways, anytime you send out a campaign, always test it first, because you need to make sure that everything looks the way you want it to look, that all the subject lines are the way you want them to look, that all the buttons are shown correctly, that there are no mistakes, and all the links are working, and everything. So always test your campaign. So send the test campaign, go to your mailbox and check if everything is fine. If not, then go back to templates and change the templates, and then start sending the campaign again. The good thing is that, for example, if I send out the test now and I want to go back to templates, edit the template, and then do something with the template here, and then I go back to campaigns, then my campaign actually is still existing here. It didn't go anywhere. It didn't delete itself. So you can just actually go back to testing once again. So if you already have a campaign here and you have this test button, then you can just test out the campaign really easily once again, because Smaily already knows which was the template that you sent before and you tried to fix, and you can just use it to do another test. So really easy. But you can also start over sending the campaign, go to the next step, which is choose content, and if the template is fine, you can move on to the third step. And the third step is selecting recipients for your campaign. Here we have the same list of subscribers as we had here in the subscribers bar. So you have an option to send the email out to all of your subscribers, so everybody who is on your list will get the template. Or you can choose segments or filters that you want to send the email to. For example, I can just choose that I want to send this email out to people who are using English language. If I have made such a segment in my subscribers bar, then I have this segment here, and I can just click on it, and then this segment will be used to send out the email. What is really, really good about Smaily, once again, is that you can also exclude people from sending out some campaign. For example, if this applies very well to this place where Heidi asked me if you can have people in different filters. For example, there might be some email address who has signed up for English newsletter, but I also have a list of people who have not opened an email within the last year, and I don't want to send this email out to people who have not opened an email within the last year. So I can make this exclusion filter, meaning that I will make a filter out of people who have not opened the email within the last year, and I don't want to send this email to those people. So I make a filter, and now this filter will appear here in this list. And if I double click here, then I see this X mark here. And this means that those people who are on this list will not get the email, even if they are in the list of people who should get the email. So exclusion lists are like really good way of making really specific segmentation rules for yourself, so that there are like sometimes some campaigns that you want some people to get and some people should not get them. So there is this exclusion list option here, which is really helpful and really easy to use. And this is like a nice thing to have, and something that, as far as I know, many other platforms actually don't have it. And now if I click on the third time here, then this segmentation segment will not be used at all. So let's say that I have chosen one list that I want to, one segment that I do want to send the emails to, and then I have one segment of contacts that I don't want this email to go to. And now I have selected my recipients. And the next step is that I will just go over and check that everything is fine. I can see that my subject line for this email that I'm going to send out is hello world. I see the template here. Once again, I can just preview the template one more time if I'm not sure if this is the correct one. And below, I will also see the overview of the lists or segments that I'm going to send this email to. In this case, I see that I'm going to send the email to 160 recipients, and I am excluding 2 recipients from getting this email. I can also choose the delivery time and date. I can start sending the email out right now. So if I use this start immediately and click on save and launch button, then after 5 minutes, the email will start going out. But I can also schedule it for later. Really easy, just choose the time when I want to send the email out. I will choose the date here and also the time. Be aware the time is Estonian time. So if you want to send out a campaign in Mexico, then you need to adjust the time in your head and choose the correct time here. And once that is done, then save and launch. One more thing is that if I hope you remember, I showed you at the beginning that you can make your own unsubscribe pages. And if you want to use your own unsubscribe page, not the Smaily default one, then here in the bottom of the page, you would have to choose your own unsubscribe page. And this you would have to do for every campaign one by one. Otherwise, it will use the Smaily default. And once all of this is done, just click on save and launch, and then you have like 5 minutes of spare time, of like overthinking time if everything was correct. For 5 minutes, you can still cancel the campaign. If you don't cancel the campaign in 5 minutes, it will go out, and then you can't actually take it back anymore. We have here 3 campaigns that have actually been sent out, and let's go over some statistics as well. So here is one campaign that we have sent out, and this is what the statistics for campaign looks like. If you don't very well, for example, remember what was the subject line, who you sent this email to, then there is this show more details, and this will show you exactly when was the email sent out, what was the template name. If you delete the template, then it won't show it to you, and also it will show you who were the people that got this email, what was the segment that got the email. And the next thing that you will see is the opens and clicks in time. So you will see who, how many people clicked within the few first hours, how many people opened within the first hours, and so on and so on. It will also show you the number of emails that were delivered. So this is the deliverability rate. It will also show you how many people opened the emails, how many people clicked in the emails, and what was the click-through rate. So meaning that how many people from openers became clickers as well. And it will also show you what were the most popular links that were clicked in the email. And then it will show you some detailed demography. But what is actually usually more interesting is what are the tabs here below in this in here. So what you see here is the people who got the email. These are actually email addresses here, and you will see email address and who got the email when. The next tab will show you who opened the email, and you will also see how many times they opened the email. For example, here, the first person has opened the email 29 times, and the last time that they opened the email was on 13th of February. You will also see people who clicked the email. You will see how many times they clicked, and you will also see when was the last time that they clicked. And here you can also export people who opened the email or did not open the email. And if you want to see export only clickers, then basically you export the openers here and you just make the segmentation inside Excel if you want to use this for future references. You will also see bounces, meaning that people who did not get the email, you will see who bounced and what was the reason for the bounce. You will also see who unsubscribed, and also see how who reported the email as spam, and you will also see forwards. So this is like the most important statistics that you can see here. This is a lot of statistics, and all of that you can also use to make your next campaigns even better and better and better. And this is like the most important things about Smaily. We have two more tabs here. One of them is automations and landing pages. I will slightly show you these as well, but I'm not going to talk really long about it. First of all, automations. You can make automations in Smaily as well. It's relatively easy. You can use some already pre-made automations here, or you can start from scratch, and basically you choose a trigger of what should start the automations, and then you have the options. Either you want to send a message or put a delay between sending a message. I will put here, for example, one delay and then send a message. And then after sending a message, you can also create filters of people, for example, who has opened the message, who has not opened the message, who have clicked a link or who have not clicked the link. So you can actually make really, really sophisticated automations here on Smaily as well. There are a lot of options and rules here that you can follow and create great automations as well. About the automations, once you have created an automation, then you need to start it as well. So if I click on this start button here, then I can see this automation is actually working, and the emails that I have created into these automations are actually going out. And if I want to stop it from going out, then there's this pause button, and then I can see that this automation is not running anymore and it has been closed down. So John is asking, is it possible to use conditional logic inside automations? There are, like, we call them filters. There are some filters that you can use. For example, let me see if I have some nicer ones. For example, here is one automations that we have made so that if somebody should get an English email, then they will get an English email from us, and if in the system they are marked as they should get an Estonian email, then they will get an Estonian email. So yes, basically this is possible. It depends on what information you have about your customers in your subscribers list. So you can use all the information that you have about your subscribers and use this for filters here as well. We call them filters, but basically this is the same thing as you're asking for. This is like conditional logic, or like if sentences, if somebody is like this, then do this. If somebody is like that, then do that. So this is doable here. And I hope that you will find a good solution for your automations here. Just try it out. If you have any questions, ask for help from the support. There are some limitations, of course. You can't do everything in the world with automations, but we are here to help you out. So if you have any questions about how to create a certain automation, then just write to us and we will help you about the conditional logic as well. And one more thing that I have to show you is landing pages. Landing pages in Smaily mostly are meant for collecting subscribers to your database. So if you, for example, want to make a form that you want to upload for Facebook, for example, make a Facebook post that click here, subscribe to my newsletter from this page here, then this is what we call a landing page. And again, we have a lot of different landing pages as examples here. We have forms here, we have events and webinars landing pages where people can actually sign up for a webinar. And we even have totally ready-made web pages here. But I recommend mostly to use landing pages for collecting information about your subscribers. Either this is for getting new subscribers to your list, or getting some event responses or something like that. This is really easily done here. And we have examples here. You can basically just choose one example and start editing this one. I will show you one example. For example, let's take this one. So the editor for landing page, it is similar to what you use for creating a template. So once again, you have like different options of data that you can include in your landing page. It works once again like a drag and drop. So if you want to add a button, you just drag and drop it inside the landing page. If you want to add some social media buttons, again, just drag and drop. And while clicking on it, you can change the way it looks and add some additional information, change the colors, change the text, etc., etc., etc. And the most important thing on landing pages is forms. With forms, we have very sophisticated methods of how to collect information about the clients. You can ask clients info from here, but you can also add so-called tags to people here. For example, if you know that you will share this landing page on Facebook to collect new subscribers to your list, then you can add one hidden field to the form here, and in that case you can later on filter out people who subscribe to your list throughout this landing page, and this is called hidden fields in Smaily. And again, this is a long tutorial, but if you go to our tutorial pages, you will learn how to do that as well. And also with forms, you can start automations. So for example, what we really suggest using is that if you make a landing page, you start collecting emails, then you basically you attach an automation to this form here. And once the person has filled out the form, then it will trigger the automation that will start sending emails to your new subscriber. And this is something that we really recommend you doing, because it will just make your life so much easier. And it is very easily to be done here on Smaily. There are tutorials for that. And once again, if you need actually help with that, we can help you. Because we have made tutorials about it in Estonian, not in English yet. But if you feel like you want to have a tutorial about that in English, then write to us and we will make it happen at least at some point, or as long as we don't have a tutorial, just ask for our help from support. I'm not going to dig into the landing pages right now. So if you have any specific questions, I can show you stuff. Otherwise, I would say that this was the short overview of Smaily, of how you can start using it. And there are so much more things you can actually do with Smaily. But first, let's do the first things, and then if you are already gotten used to Smaily platform, then we can go on with more difficult tasks, as well as the thing that I just showed you, how to attach an automation to a landing page. if you have any questions right now, I'm still here and you can ask me anything that you want to know. Maybe you have some specific tasks that you want to do on Smaily, you don't know how to do them, then this is right now the perfect time to ask how to do something. I can show you here live how to do some things. If something was unclear, again, just ask. And if you think that you don't want to ask right now, you can always write to us later. Use this bubble here, the talk bubble, or write to our email or Skype and ask your questions there. And we are here to help you out. And really, if you want to have some more tutorials about some specific topics, then also let us know, because we will be gladly doing more tutorials in English as well. We have been doing this a lot in Estonian, but we want to make sure our English-speaking clients are also well taken care of. I don't see any questions at the moment. I will give you 1 more minute to ask your questions, and if you don't have any questions, then after 1 minute we are going to end this session here today. I thank you, everyone who came here today. Thank you all for the questions. They were really good questions. Thank you, Heidi, for the good questions, and John for the good questions. I hope it was useful for you, and next time we are going to make some more webinars, then I hope you attend 1 more time. So no more questions. In that case, thank you very much for attending. Thank you for coming and talking with me, and I hope you will enjoy Smaily platform as much as I do, and see you again by using Smaily.